Hey, Kathy,
How?
how you
Sorry.
doing? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Ken Eric was getting very upset by your absence,
Yeah,
so
I heard.
it's a good thing you're here now.
I'm here now. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm so sorry. I'm looking
But
forward to see your infographics actually. I have my
Thanks.
notebook ready.
Yeah, sorry about the mess in the background. I have this whole computer thing that I'm trying to convert into something else, and anyway,
Cool.
a
um,
good thing, Kathy, you didn't need to listen to me yapping about my Eureka moment in Haskell and Plutus. I had like a 5 minutes rant here.
was it recorded?
You haven't restarted recording yet.
Or if you do, send it to me. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Presentation now. Let's do it. Let's go. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where we were at.
Next slide, I think.
Next slide.
Next slide. Yeah.
Um, so we did this. We
Yep.
explained. Okay. Well, the next one was like it's kind of the end of
No,
it.
this is too far, I think. Go back. There, we were there. That's where we
Okay,
were.
that's what we did.
This
Yeah.
is the X509 certificate and yati yati and Mike losing his breath moment.
Precisely.
Yes, because time goes too fast and it's very annoying. I hope I had a stopwatch or something, like a time stopping watch. Like it Back to the Future or something. Like I need an additional hour, please stop, click, and then just everything else
Just
stops.
pause the time right now.
Uh, okay, so yes, I finally explained what the orchestrator was doing, right? And I was about to tell you the why the need of the NFT. So what about the NFT? And I briefly explained before that the reason why we use NFT is because we switch the control of the consortium to the NFT. And by doing so, if we ever have to rotate any keys, hi Johnny, if we ever have to rotate any keys from either membership role, delegation role, or voting role, it will not change the script hash of the cold credential. And that is the main difference and the best feature of this tool compared to the native script. Because like I said before, if you ever change the script of a native script because you lost one of your credentials, then automatically it changes its script hash. But now, since the control comes from the NFT itself, the script hash never change. And by implementing another script that allows you to spend the NFT and trigger an action by signing the transaction with the keys mentioned in the datum, then you can freely rotate them. I repeat myself without changing the script hash. So the way this works is oh yeah, I forgot to explain that. So it's basically what I said. The system replaces the control of a private key with the control of an NFT. And it's the same for both sides, the cold credentials and the hot credentials. Meaning the loss of control of either NFT is equivalent to the lose of control of either committee credentials. Your NFT are your credentials. But the only way to spend them, again, is to sign the transactions with the keys mentioned in the datum of the script that you're running. So the way this works is by spending your NFT back to the same script address, you can trigger an action. And the action, depending on what your orchestrator or what you ask your orchestrator to do, could be for the membership role. Could be for the membership role to either resign, rotate keys, or unlock the NFT to send it to another script that's been updated, for example. And for the delegation role, it could be either to authorize the hot credential NFT, resign from their own role, or rotate the voting role, or unlock the hot credential NFT to send it to another updated script.
What's your understanding of this in below? Because I don't have, I'm no programmer, but I'm lost in your discussion. So I think that
I may
for
have
you,
introduced the lostness because I'm talking about different aspects of an NFT, which Mike is trying to obscure away in his teaching because it's not necessary knowledge for actually using it. But yeah,
I'm
Well,
trying to get my head around to grasp what an NFT is. So
non-fungible token. It's
I'm just at a basic level at this point.
um
So it depends on what level you're in, I think.
if
yes.
you want, I can give a very basic rundown, but maybe it's not my place.
You know what, Kathy? We can do that later on. I will give you the NFT non-fungible token and the structure of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can do that.
because I've minted one NFT on the Intersect and put it in my wallet, but this is a whole another thing, I think. So
No, it could be it could be the same thing. An NFT is a
trying to grasp.
non-fungible token. So by non-fungible, it means it can't be copied. So you can't reproduce the same way, right? It has its own policy number, its own token name. Hey, Boaz, and you just can't duplicate it in a way, right?
Okay, so it's the same thing, and I can use it for
The,
credentials.
Yes, in this case, yes, because this one is used since it can't be duplicated, it's used to identify your consortium. And the only ones who has the power to spend it are the holder of the keys of your consortiums. Yes, Johnny?
Okay.
The further question becomes: if you already have an NFT of any kind, can you extend its features to be used as a part of this process? Could you take an already existent NFT and add functionality to it, or do you have to use this process, the credential manager?
I would say you can, but I'm afraid that I haven't tested it. So if it changes its script hash, you might accidentally like get yourself out of your you know what I mean, right?
So you're saying it's the same, but it might not necessarily be the same. Is my point? If you have to use the
I'm confused.
credential manager to mint this NFT, to give it the functionality and maintain the script to another NFT.
Am
You're chopping up there,
am I the only one
Johnny.
hearing like it's rugging or something? I can't hear your.
He's rugging. He's rugging a little bit there. But Kathy, just to very simplify it. So non-fungible versus fungible tokens. So for example, ADA, that's a fungible token. It has a comma, and you can have like 0.1 ADA or like that. But you cannot have like 1.567 NFTs. So it's unique. It has, yeah.
Okay.
I think very simplified. If Mike don't object.
Well, it can be duplicated as well, right? So technically, you
Yeah,
can
you can
create
have
a
many
token that
NFTs.
is.
You can have many NFTs, but you cannot have like 2.5 NFT with the same asset ID.
Yeah, you can have many NFTs, but they won't be the same.
Yeah.
It won't be
It's
the
important
same,
to mention it's unique.
and you can't split them.
Yeah,
can never split.
you can't split them, but you can't
Okay.
also duplicate them. So it's
Like a
used.
dollar? like $1 is fungible. You know, you can divide it up into $50, 10 cents,
And you can also
$1
have
billion.
several dollars. Exactly.
But then you can have
Yeah.
several dollars. And the
But-
same thing is with, so the difference here with NFTs is that the unit is only like one,
like a piece of art that can't
Yeah.
be duplicated.
like a picture,
Yeah.
Okay.
unique.
And the usage, because that's where the Johnny's question got me a bit confused, because how can you use them?
Well, in this case, but I'm not sure I heard him because it was rugging a lot when he asked the question.
Is this any
So-
better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
clear.
to explain very simplified. So
Mhm.
like Tingvard, we have minted our NFT, and let's say what you see here in the code credential, everything behind that is, you have membership roles, you have delegator roles, and all those represent that NFT.
Okay.
So when you see that asset ID, and it's represented like a script hash in this model. It's a way for the blockchain to recognize us as a consortium.
Yes.
Permission to give some further context of
To give
what an
arch
NFT
criticism.
is.
Go for
I
it.
mean, if you want me to go, I can go.
No,
I
it's a joke. You know me. You want to start an argument here?
No, I just want permission to give proper
Go ahead,
background on
go
how
ahead.
NFTs work on Cardano.
Wait. Okay,
Right.
I'm going to put a condition here because I have 30 minutes left. I promised to Kathy that I would present my infographic with the scrolls. So if you can sum it down in a nice way so it doesn't take
Okay.
too long. Okay.
Kathy, you are aware that a wallet on Cardano has both a public and a private key, yes?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course. The policy of an NFT also has both a public and a private key. And you use that private key to create your NFT. So your ownership of your NFT comes from your private key that is the policy key. So you create a token on Cardano's network on layer 1 with that public policy connected to your private key for control over that policy. That gives you the right to mint tokens on layer 1 on Cardano. And you can mint either fungible tokens, which would be the equivalent of ADA, but a different token. So you've got SNEC as a meme coin, as an example. That's a fungible token, and that's something that has its own private policy key. An NFT is a single token that has a unique name. It's called its asset name, and that name exists under the policy ID that is the public policy ID that is connected to your private key. So you make a single token with a single asset name, and you don't add any other tokens with that same asset name. So you don't create more than one SNEC. You would call it SNEC NFT as an asset name, and you would only have one SNEC NFT. If you wanted to add another NFT under that policy, you would have to increment it somehow. So instead of having just more than one SNEC NFT, you would have SNEC NFT, SNEC NFT 1, SNEC NFT 2 in the asset name. And each of those names would denote the fact that they're single, non-fungible tokens with their own unique name. So whenever you create the NFT for this process, for the credential manager, you've created a single token under a policy that you control the private key of, the policy key. And you can then set a closing date so that you can't edit that NFT any further. So you can say on this slot number in the future, that policy can no longer be changed. No more NFTs can be added. Nothing can be changed on the metadata. It is just a locked single token. Then with the credential manager, you can reference that token as the authorization for all of the things that you want to change in a given script. And that NFT won't change because you've locked it. You've locked it as just having this asset name, this initial metadata, and it is your key, essentially. The NFT is acting as a key to allow all of these changes to take place. And the credential, the credential that is the NFT, is what remains consistent. So it gives you access rights to change the script without changing the thing that is the access. I got a bit lost at the end, but you know what I mean, hopefully.
Okay, sorry, Mike. I owe you a lot of chocolate now because I derailed your lesson. Let's continue.
Did that help in any way create context, Kathy?
Yeah, somewhat.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but
This was good.
everything helps because you describe things in different ways, and that gives me an idea and gives me a visualization of how it works. And I think I now have a better. But I
And
also
this is
think I
what I
agree.
was.
All of
Oh no,
those
you need to know
variations.
what you need to know what then can be done with an NFT. But I'm saying that the background knowledge of how an NFT works on Cardano is a useful thing to start with, so you have context to then how it fits into how it's used in this presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
scene is your Mike.
Okay. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, me and Johnny, we have some kind of a yin yang love. Uh, he's the yin and I'm the yang, or it's probably the opposite. I don't know
It's
which one
it's
is which.
it's I believe it's not Ying. I think it's Yin, but I may be being pedantic.
There you go. You see what I mean?
All I hear is love.
You see,
All I hear is
I
love.
understand.
It's a romance.
When they got out with governance, there was me and him, like the original like testers, and he was the negative side, and well, no, the pessimistic side, and I was the positive, like
I prefer
rainbow.
the term realist, but yes.
All pessimists do. but
Yeah, I
but
was
we
the one
need
saying
all
that
those
everything's
kinds
gonna
of
be.
people in a team to make it work because we
Yeah,
optimists have a way too optimistic view of things, and we sometimes need to like land,
that's the way I am.
help with the landing.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm
Kathy.
Keep us balanced.
I'm the over optimistic guy, and he's the actual opposite
The
in
person
some
who
ways.
will drag you back from your dream world down to real life.
And it's always fun. I swear, literally, like it's okay. Let's get back to it. I want to get to the next explanation. Yes. Okay. So very simply vulgarized explanation here is just to tell you that if I go back, when you spend that NFT, this is when you trigger the action. So one of the requirement in order to do something from the cold side or the hot side is by spending the NFT. So when you spend it, you trigger the action. Simply explain. Okay. And depending on how your orchestrator builds your transaction, depending on what you asked him to build, right? It could be if it implies the signature from the membership roles, it would be either resign, rotate, or unlock the NFT. If it requires the delegation role signature, it would be to authorize the hot NFT or resign from their own role or rotate the voting role. They have this power. Or to unlock the hot NFT and send it arbitrarily. uh, the joke has been brought during my Rare Evo presentation that when we're done, we could sell those NFT and they could be worth a lot, I guess. You know, as the Cardinal Atlantic Council uh, ICC and CC first ever used NFT. But anyway, that's another topic. Anyway, we need all those signatures in order to spend it to another address other than itself. And on the voting side, all you can do with those credentials and that NFT is vote or resign. So it's either if someone wants to resign from their own voting role, or like we do all the time, we use or we spend this NFT to vote. And again, we spend it from the script address back to the same address, right? So the input UTXO is the NFT itself because it lives on a UTXO. And then it goes back to the same script address with either the same datum if nothing changes here, or if you do resign them, then obviously the datum in your within your transaction is going to be different. Um, yeah, and that completes uh, brief explanation on how it works.
I'm very looking forward to this. I've actually had a look at this at the infographics, and I would love the explanation for this.
So I like to see this one as a roadmap. Okay. So first, some brief explanation. There's a legend at the top left of this infographic. So if we zoom, I like that. I like to zoom. Um, you can see all the roles that I explained earlier, right? And all of these roles have a specific stamp, as you can see. And the role involved in each one of those scrolls is mentioned by its stamps. So as you can see, if we start here and we follow the dotted feather lines, we get to the first step.
Mike. Instead of roadmap, I would like to say this is the love map to governance. So
Absolutely.
when you understand this, you are in love with governance on Cardano.
This is the love map. Okay, so I
Okay,
can't remember the marks of which role, but the V is for voting, right?
yes, the V is
So you
voting role.
could just remind me because I can't remember them.
Yes, the V is the voting role. The handshake is the
Is the
delegation
delegation.
role, and the crown is the membership role because that's like the highest ranked within your consortium, if I can phrase it like that. So that's why I use the crown, like the king.
The one you never use, hopefully never use.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. The one
Okay.
you never use, but you still have to own. You still have to generate, right? So if I go down to the first step here, we generate the keys from mnemonic. This is what every new consortium had to do. They had to generate their keys. And I'm sorry, Johnny, if I may have to read the little thing with my accent there. Johnny doesn't like the character, but
Hmm. He's speaking for me at this point. I not did I express that at one point?
yeah, well, yeah, we shouldn't go there. You said you didn't like the funny part of it, that it was making governance more idiotic or something like that. Like
No,
no.
I said wearing a wig. That was my
Oh,
feedback when wearing the wigs and doing all this sort of comedy like robe wearing and everything. That's what gets me like a little bit. You're turning it a bit farcical. I know it's a bit of fun, but no,
okay.
I love this presentation style of
All
the
right.
letters and the graphic.
So there are correspondence letter from from Lord Mike Hornan, the fictional character that I'm doing sometimes. And here, so the ones who have to generate keys from mnemonic, they are of course, the membership, the delegation, and the voting role has to do that. And below you have the actual code you have to do. So if I read it quick, by reading the letter explains what to do, right? In some
Ah.
kind of funny way, because there's this aristocratic, pretentious character, fictional character that I play. So I'm gonna do it a little bit. My dear friend, pray attend with care, for what follow is not for the vulgar or the uninitiated. You shall first appoint two essential variables.
And of course, I
Thank
comes
you,
the wig.
Ken.
Yeah, yeah. This is what I get upset by all this wig wearing.
So this is amazing. I like it. I'm sorry,
All for
Johnny.
you,
He
Johnny.
likes
All for
it.
you,
He did it
Johnny.
for you.
It's all right, Kathy. You can't agree with me on everything.
No, I can't. Sorry.
So he tells people that they have to appoint essential variables, a name by which your credentials shall be recognized, and a role With this declaration duly made, you may then proceed to generate your Cardano keys, which, once defined into proper Shelley keys, shall empower you to act with the poise and legitimacy befitting a constitutional committee member. A station far above the wretched common throng, whose feeble minds seldom rise beyond the most trivial curiosity.
Oh, I love it. It's old English. It's so cool. Great.
So here, in a different font, to make sure that people make the difference, we introduce two variables that you have to define directly on your terminal. So it says change me. So obviously you're going to use a name like Mike and a role like membership for each one of the keys you're going to create, right? So it could be the same name, but the role will obviously change depending on the keys you're generating, right? Because you could fulfill the membership role, the delegation role, or the voting role if you wanted to, or all of them, depending on what you decided amongst your consortium. So here you set those two variables, and then at the bottom, you use a Cardinal CLI command to generate a mnemonic phrase of 24 words. And right after that, you have the Cardinal CLI command to derive extended Shelley keys from those mnemonic words. And after that, here you define a secret key variable where you will only get the CBOR X part that's related to your secret key. So you're tossing away the bit 32 part of your key to convert them then into normal Shelley keys. So the reason why we do that is because on the OpenSSL side, it doesn't, uh, you cannot convert cardinal extended keys into OpenSSL keys because OpenSSL doesn't understand the bit 32 part of those keys, right? But it does understand the ED25519 from it, or the algorithm, if I may say. This is why you first need to convert them into normal Shelley key. If you're willing to use the certificate, the OpenSSL certificate for identifications. If you don't, well, I'm not going to get there, but you could still keep them as extended keys if you wanted to, but you would have to toss away the OpenSSL part during the creation of your consortium. Yes, Johnny.
Just as a what I tend to do anytime I generate keys, if I have to convert them into something else, is just keep both. It just as
Yeah,
in case, just in case. Don't delete anything.
this is why in those commands you can see here that the extended key name is using your name, then your role. So the name of your key is going to be, for example, Mike membership.x key, extended signing key. And when you convert them, it does the same. So I'm going to have the new set of key, the new signing key name is going to be Mike membership.s key. So this one is not extended. So you're going to have two different files. It doesn't replace the extended key.
So in that
Because you'll
case, you
see the extension .x key
Yes.
x, so for extended.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
makes that means you won't overwrite it. You just
Exactly. Yes.
create a new one. So
That's
you
the
have
goal.
both.
They
Okay.
they have the same name but a different extension.
Yeah.
Yes. But if this ever happen, it's no big deal because uh, just like crypto, as long as you have
Your C
uh,
phrase.
the mnemonic phrase, you can always restore them. That's the goal of creating it this way. So if you ever lose them, if something ever happens, you can always restore those keys with this process. Um, so when this is done, it's signed with all due grandeur, Sir Mike Ornan, protectors of the threefold order. And by threefold order, I
Great.
mean the DREPs, the CC, and the SPOs, of course. So you do that for all three
You may
roles.
want to define what the threefold order is before you go in and using terms like that. Sorry, I'm mocking myself from earlier.
I'll let people guess or conspirate about the meaning of this. But this process is the exact same for the three roles. So if you're fulfilling more than one role, all you have to change really is the variable value here. So if you generate membership keys, you're gonna have this variable as membership. And if you generate other keys like voting, you just switch the variable and you use the same commands, just to make sure the name of your key is gonna be the right one, right?
Yeah,
All right,
makes sense.
next, I gotta check the time, make sure that I don't get late. Oh, wow, cool, awesome. Okay, so the next step here, we have to make the certificate signing request with those Cardano key that we just generated. And this involves, once again, the membership role, the delegation role, and the voting role. So the same roles we did in the former scroll. So now we have a letter that says, "My dear friend, I am well aware that at first glance this elaborate tapestry of code may strike you as excessive, even bordering on the extravagant. Yet I assure you, such intricacy is not born of vanity but of necessity. Only through this careful construction may one derive the proper key in a form that OpenSSL itself can recognize, thereby allowing the esteem certificate signing request to be fashioned. It is, after all, the indispensable step by which you may present yourself with due legitimacy as one of the three most distinguished roles. Thus prepared, I now commend to your eyes the very code that shall confer such distinction." So you see here is a command line to convert the Shelly key you generated, the normal Shelly key from Cardano, into its equivalent on the OpenSSL side.
Oh, okay.
So it takes so it takes from your key your CBORX. It cuts the part that's Cardano related in the beginning, like the 5820, if I remember well, that represents for Cardano 32 bytes, and it's going to prepend to it, uh, so some lines of code that's going to make it understandable on the OpenSSL side.
How many characters do they remove in front? It takes a bit a chunk away from the front, right?
Yes, so from CBORX, it takes the quotation, and the four first digits that you can see here, the 5820, that's related to
Ah,
Cardano keys. So it only, so you're really only keeping the secret key to convert them into OpenSSL keys. And then, as you may know already from OpenSSL keys, you have the begin private key and the end private key part, and then you have a,
take it away.
right? So it creates, again, using the same variable, the name, Mike, the role, membership, for example. No, that's not a dash. Yeah, that's a dash. Dash priv.pem, which is going to be your private key on the OpenSSL side. And then you can use that key to create your certificate signing request. So here is the command, OpenSSL, request new key, and then you use as an input your private key, and as an output, your certificate. So as soon as you use this command, you're going to get a prompt, like every prompt that you use to create a certificate. So uh, country of origin, state, company name, your name, email, the kind of information that you put in the certificate signing request. And then once this is done, it has to be signed by the certificate authority, which we will get very soon. So ever faithfully,
So you put in the information that identify you.
yes,
That's the whole purpose. Certificate, identify. That's ID. Put it like that.
yeah,
Device, unit.
or the information you're willing to give. Because you could skip some of those steps, right? You could give your country of origin, but you don't want to say the city you live in, for example, or you really just, you provide the inputs that you're willing to provide. And as it is right now, nobody, no consortium yet shared their certificate. So Just saying, this is not something you are forced to share. So if within your consortium, you agree to share, for example, the voting certificates because you believe it has no incident on your consortium itself because all of you have a key, you can you can do it. And so everyone will be able to tell if Generic signed a transaction of his consortium or if I did as well, because it will link your cardinal keys to an actual OpenSSL certificate. And this is trackable on chain also.
But as we covered last
If
time, not the explicit vote, just the fact that you voted.
Yes, you signed a transaction. Well, no, I mean, like if you sign a transaction, I would guess that you provided some inputs.
No, but it doesn't give if it's a council and you voted no, but you signed the transaction even though you voted no, it wouldn't reflect that. You just signed
Right.
the final.
Yes, exactly. So as a consortium, like Johnny Kelly said, if you're 6 members of a consortium, at the end of the day, you have one vote, yes, no, or abstain. So you would know that they signed a transaction, but you would not know if they voted yes, no, or abstain within their group, unless they openly state it. But again, there's a field for that in the metadata. So well, usually people, we all fill this up, but you don't know who
so the
did
thing
vote
is,
what. Yeah.
the,
Uh,
the thing to remember, Kathy, is that if you one day take part in a consortium and you share publicly your certificate, you're gonna keep Mike busy for a long time. You know, he's gonna have so much fun seeing.
Don't share the certificate. I got it. Love your hair, by the way.
I love it too. I love it
Many
too.
years.
You should
Many
totally.
years since you had that much hair.
I like it.
Johnny is so sad about this. I'm sorry,
I-
Johnny.
it's fine. It's Johnny. He
Listen,
disagreed,
man,
but
you got to complete reading the letter. Come on, finish the last bit.
Yes.
ever faithfully, Sir Mykernan, custodian of certainty.
Yes,
Custodian of
you definitely
certainty.
are.
This changes.
This
You,
changes everything.
you haven't seen the character that I did in Quebec. Ken saw it. It's a very pretentious,
I
like
think it's on
he.
YouTube, actually.
Yes, it is. He
Yeah.
speaks. The character speaks to people like they're
The,
peasants
the
and
good thing about
commoners. And
being the good thing about being the custodian of certainty, though, Mike, is it isn't the custodian of being correct. Anyway, off you go.
Oh, this made me
well,
laugh, Johnny.
he surely is certain what he says. Okay, let's carry on. So we follow the letters. Let's go. All right. So we're getting to the certificate signing request approval by the head of security. So now the head of security has a role, and he's the holder of the certificate authority, right? But of course, in order to sign the certificate signing request, he needs a self-signed certificate and also the certificate authority private keys, right? And he also needs your certificate signing request. So this scroll explains exactly that. And the roles involved are, of course, the membership, the delegation, and the voting role, like before, because they provide the certificate signing request. And also here we have the head of security. And this is the only place that he is needed. You won't see this stamp anywhere else. This is the only step that involves the head of security. So he has a lot of esteem to towards the head of security, Sir
And a
Mykernan,
much fancier letter as a result.
possibly. So yeah, you notice the little cardinal there. Yeah, I've put a lot of work into that scroll. Anyway, okay. My esteemed head of security, I write to you with the utmost respect and full confidence of your discernment. It is my humble request that you lend your distinguished signature to the certificate signing request, thereby bestowing it the authority and legitimacy only you can provide. To ensure this executed correctly, I am providing you with the code to generate your certificate authority keys and the self-signed certificate, a step of utmost importance, which I trust you will not omit before signing the request. With these in your possession, you shall be fully equipped to act as a certificate authority, maintaining the proper hierarchy of X509 certificate and ensuring that all credential identities are issued with the utmost integrity and precision as befit your exalted station. So
This is awesome.
No, I do find that language humorous. I do. It's just the wigs.
I yeah, I use also I try to push my French accent when I speak this way to make sure that people understand it's a French bourgeoisie. So here you have a Cardinal CLI address key gen command. So you generate, and that's important because I've been asked why couldn't we just use OpenSSL keys? And technically you could. So you could just generate ED 25519 OpenSSL keys. It will work. But I like to have, that's not the opinion of everyone, but I like to have cardinal keys when you generate this because if you wanted to, you could use these keys as your rationale signature. Because since the certificate authority is used uh, to maintain a proper hierarchy of X509 certificate, you could also use this cardinal key to sign the rationale to prove that it's coming from a consortium. But as it is right now, nobody does that, not even us.
That's upsetting. I really do love the idea of maintaining
It'd
a
be
relational
nice.
link,
Yeah. What?
relational links, and being able to reuse something somewhere else in order to maintain the continuity of process.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, we don't. So it's fine, but the commands are here. So here, that's the command to generate the keys on the cardinal side. Then below, you use the same set of keys, and again, you convert them into its equivalent in uh, in OpenSSL. But as you can see here, the keys you generate on the cardinal side, they're normal Shelly keys right off the bat. So it's not generated from a mnemonic phrase. Could you do it this way? Yes, but again, it's up to you, right? You could generate your certificate authority keys from a mnemonic if you wanted to and convert them the same way you did with the membership role. But in this example, I'm not doing it. And here we're converting them into OpenSSL keys, like I said before. And here you have the OpenSSL command to create your self-signed certificate. And this one has an expiration of, I believe it's 10 years. Yes, 10 years, but it's up to you. It's just a random number I've put there, guessing that your organization
Cool.
would last 10 years.
The
But
urge to be pedantic is so high right now.
so this is the command to create an X509 self-signed certificate using your private key and the expiration date or the anyway. And then you're going to have your certificate authority certificate that you're going to use then to sign the request that the membership, the delegation role, and the voting role will send you. So here you have the OpenSSL. We create leap year. Yeah, this one lasts for a year, but I would guess that some consortium would put a higher number here, right? Because for us, we're doing it for 1 year, but some of the consortium actually right now, they're doing it for 2 years. So that number would probably change for them. And then the request input is the certificate signing request that they gave you. And then you have to input your certificate, your self-signed certificate, and also input your certificate authority signing key. And here you have the output, which is going to be the signed certificate that you just signed. So name, role, cert. So if it's Mike membership role certificate that I'm doing, I'm going to put Mike dash membership dot cert as the head of security. So by my humble hand, Mike Hernan, sole arbiter and supreme custodian of the central network. That is actually true.
That is verifiably true.
At least he's not just certain. That's a fact. Okay.
Yes, indeed. In that case, you are correct.
I appreciate you, Johnny. I really do. It's always fun to talk with you, and always. Okay, so do I have time? I don't think I'm gonna be. Oh shoot! I don't think I'm gonna be
All
able to
this
do it all.
all this joking around has ruined our efficiency.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting. No, it was impossible for me to do it all. I'm
It's
expecting to
important to
spend.
have fun. I won't learn this if I don't have
I
fun.
dare you.
No, we'll carry on next week. That's fine. We learned a lot. But all I can say before I finish with this is that now we're at the minting of the cold credential. So now we
So
have
now
all,
we're on this next
yes, we
step.
have everyone's
Okay.
certificates, we have everyone's keys. Now we're ready to mint the cold NFT that we will use to submit our governance actions in order to have the DREPs and the SPO elect us as the official blockchain cardinal blockchain constitutional committee, because this has to be done through governance action.
This is actually great because now I can see kind of all the theory we went through before. It falls in place into this infographics. So
Yes,
I connect the dots very well now
that's the goal.
because now I can see everything I've written down. Also, it falls into place in orderly
Yes.
fashion.
If I would have started with this off the bat, I don't think I would have been able to properly make everyone understand. That's why I always
No,
oversimplify it first, and then I get to the actual code where you see each parameters with the code, and I can sum them, I can summarize them and explain them, and they will understand and make the link with what I
yeah.
explained earlier. Um, yeah, but I'm gonna put an hold to that, and we're gonna carry on next Tuesday.
Put a note there and just note this is
Yes, this is where we're at.
NFTs.
In
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Hey.
but I will continue to leave my note that maybe giving just a brief summary of what an NFT actually is. Not the whole thing here about how to mint it or anything like that, but just the context. Because if you refer to the NFT as something that you're spending before people even know
Okay, yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah, yeah,
about
yes.
that,
In
yeah,
okay, so in the vulgarized presentation, I will. At this one, I don't want on this
just
one.
one slide that says what is an NFT
Okay,
on
yeah,
Cardano.
all right,
And then just
sure.
like it is a token, it is not. Use Snack as an example. People will love that. Be like, Snack is a fungible token, and this, I don't know, pick an NFT that's popular. That changes all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great input. That's a great input. All right.
It wasn't earlier; it was an unwelcome criticism earlier, but now it's a great input. Thanks for that.
It has to give some time to mold, to get some maturity into the thought.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I'm gonna put you guys in the confidence. Johnny Kelly is the only one, other than my girlfriend.
that's pretty high. That's pretty high level.
Yes, that
That's
I
high level.
that's very high level.
The only one other than your girlfriend that can what? Because there's some permissions I might not want.
that I freely speak my mind about everything. So if there's
Oh,
somebody,
so okay, so it's about your level of access rather than mine.
well, I mean, yeah, you get it.
You will only speak totally freely with me and your girlfriend.
Yes.
I see.
That's
I
an
will.
honor.
Carlos. I hope Carlos don't be listening to this.
Yeah, Carlos will be like, "What's he holding back? What is his real
No,
opinion?"
no, yes.
I have to go. I get a
I'm
phone
just
call.
kidding.
Hey,
Yeah,
thanks
I
for
have to
coming.
go
Bye
too.
bye.
Cheerio,
See you
bye,
guys
Tuesday.
ta-ta.
Thanks,
next
Mike.
Tuesday. Next Tuesday. I'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.
You